Okay, so in this piecewise function graph, we have three parts. It works the same way. It's just that instead of having a left and a right-hand side, now we have a left, a middle, and a right. Okay? So we're going to have two dividing lines. So this top part of the function will only exist when x is less than or equal to -2. This one exists between -2 and 4, and then this one is when I'm greater than 4. So like when it just has one dividing spot, I still like to divide my graph with a dotted line. So I'm going to have one of them at -2. And then one of them at +4. Is everybody okay why, like how I knew to put it at those two numbers? There's where my graph is getting divided. So it exists less than -2. So the top one only exists over here. This one, this middle one only exists in between the lines. And then greater than 4 will only exist over here. Okay. So that's, now I just do sort of the same thing that I have been. Let's see. I kind of have three colors. We'll make it happen. So this first one, I'm going to take -2 and I'm going to plug it in. -2 minus 1 comes out with a -3. So at -2, I'm at -3. Open or closed circle? Closed. Is everybody okay why it's closed? Because it exists when x is less than or equal to -2. So at -2, it does exist there. Okay? So that's my starting point, and then I really just follow the slope. If I was going to the right, I'd be going up one to the right one, up one to the right one. But I can't go to the right because it only lives over here, so I go down and to the left, which is still a slope of 1, right? Right? When you draw that line, it still has a +1 slope. So I haven't done anything weird. It's just backwards. Okay, sometimes if you're, a little hesitant that you're not doing this right, I know this would have crossed the x-axis at -1. I'm sorry, would have crossed the y-axis at -1 if I had kept going. And I can see, yeah, if I had kept going, yes, it certainly would have crossed the y-axis at -1. So I know that I graphed this one right. It just doesn't live in the middle here, so I'm not actually going to draw it. Now I'll draw 2x minus 1 in between these two. So I'm going to start at -2 and I'll draw it to 4. But same thing, I want to take -2, plug it in, and that tells me where to start. So when I plug in -2 into the middle, what comes out? That's a -4 minus 1 is? -5. So I'm going to start at -2, -5 with an open dot or a closed dot? Open on this end. So -2, -5, open. And then I just follow my slope. My slope is 2. So this way is easy enough. Up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. Now I'm going to draw my line all the way to when x is 4. Now do I put a solid dot or a closed dot when I hit the line? Solid, because it can be equal to 4. So that's all I need in between the two. So I'll connect those. If you want, you can verify, yep, it was supposed to cross the y-axis at -1. It did. I'm so glad. So now all I have to do is my third or rightmost part. So I'm going to take 4 and plug 4 in and see what comes out. So if I take 4 and plug it into the function here, I get -12 plus 8, which is -4. So at 4, -4. Let's see. 4, negative, and open or closed dot? Open. And now I'm just going to follow my slope. -3. What do you think? Yep.
How would you do domain and range for this one?
Ooh, good question. Let's. Are there any x values that I'm not going to eventually hit? Will I hit every x value eventually? Yes, I will. Right? Even these ones that are getting split up, right? There still is an answer. When x is -2, there's an answer. What is it? When x is -2, what's y? Look at your graphs. -3, right? It's the closed dot. You wouldn't tell me -5 because that's open. But there is an answer. When x is +4, there's only one answer, right? 7. You would not give me this one because that one's open. But there's no number that's missing. Like if I ask you when x is, I don't know, 3, there's an answer. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's 5. When x is 10, there's an answer. It's just going to be way down here, right? It's going to be off my grid. When x is 10, it'd be some y value down here. So eventually, all of my x values are covered, right? This graph is going to continue to the left. This will continue to the right, and this cover these ones in between. Every x value is covered, so my domain is all reals. What's up with the range? You got it. All the y's less than or equal to 7. I will never get a y value that's up here. This does not have an arrow on either side, right? It's just this bar. It goes from here to here. That's it. This does not continue up. It can't. It ends right here, right? So these two continue down. That one is, so it's anything 7 or less is what will come out for the y's. I'll never get a y value of 10 or 25 or anything like that. 7 or less. Does this pass the vertical line test? Yes, it does, right? Go through. That's fine. Once I hit one of my dotted lines, I never have two solid dots on top of each other, so it's fine. You can have one solid, one open. You can have two open. You just can't have two closed on top of each other. Okay, great.